Hello, and welcome back to another episode of My Book of Mormon. We're up to episode 17. So, as most of you know, or I assume all of you know, we took a little break from our reading to have a nice little MIMO special episode. So hope everybody enjoyed that. If you didn't, please let me know, and maybe we won't do it again. But I had fun doing it. So, plan is, I'll probably do one of those again at some point in the future. But until that day comes, yeah, we're just going to keep reading this book. So today we have the monumental task of tackling Jacob chapter 5, and all I remember is that it's a beast. Oh, speaking of which, you might have noticed on, 2 episodes ago, 15? You might have heard this, thumping sound. Yeah, I heard it when I was going back and editing. I was like, what is that sound? It's thump, thud, thud. Turns out that was me turning the pages on my e-reader. So, from now on, I'm going to try and get myself to swipe instead of tap. Because apparently that tap sounded like a sledgehammer through the microphone. So anyway, alright, let's see. Oh, I did want to say one thing. I got what I thought was a hilarious iTunes review. So let's see here. It was from someone named Just Allen. Alright, so he gave me a 5-star review, so thank you very much, Just Allen. And so it started out really nice. Dave's taking on the monumental task of making the Book of Mormon entertaining, and it was all very nice. And then you had to hit the little more button, and then it said, there, I did it. You can stop telling me to rate you on every podcast now. I thought that was awesome. So, Just Allen, and for everybody else, okay, I'm done. I'm going to stop talking about the iTunes reviews. If you've made it up to this point, you've probably now heard me say it, I don't know, at least 16 times, probably more. So I'm just going to stop. And you can just live with your own guilt if you haven't done it yet. And if you have, then you can relish in the satisfaction. So, alright. That might be officially the last time I ever mention, ask you to go rate me. Message received from Just Allen. I'm annoying. Alright, no more of that. Okay, well, with that being said, I say we just jump into this thing. I don't want to waste too much time, because I feel like I have to melt an iceberg. And that iceberg is called Jacob chapter 5. So, alright, without further ado, let's just do this thing. Verse 1, Behold, my brethren, do ye not remember to have read the words of the prophet Zenos? Hey, Zenos! Been a long time since we heard his name. That's like an episode 5 callback, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, because they were like, he was just thrown in there with Zenos and Zenoch and Noom. Wow, I don't know. How is it that I can never say Lehi right, but I just pulled out 3 names from forever ago. I don't know, but I read once. Somehow I remembered. Wasn't it Zenoch and Noom? I'm sure I'm pronouncing all of those wrong. But whatever. We're going with Zenos. Okay. The prophet Zenos, which he spake unto the house of Israel, saying, I love it. Do you not remember to have read the words of prophet Zenos? Well, they don't exist anywhere outside of this book, so how on earth could I remember them? Really? How could that be something? Anyway. Hearken, O ye house of Israel, and hear the words of me, a prophet of the Lord. All right, so this is what Zenos said at some point, I think. He's a prophet. Yeah, all right. So from now on, until it says otherwise, I assume that we are now hearing from Zenos. All right. Or at least we're hearing what Jacob thinks Zenos said, but we'll just pretend it's Zenos. All right. For behold, thus saith the Lord, I will liken thee, O house of Israel, like unto a tame olive tree, which a man took and nourished in his vineyard, and it grew, and waxed old, and began to decay. All right. So Israel started out, and God nourished it, made it really nice, let it grow, and then God started ignoring it, and it got old and decayed. All right, God, that's what happens when you don't tend to your olive trees. Hopefully you learn your lesson. And it came to pass that the master of the vineyard went forth, and he saw that his olive tree began to decay, and he said, I will prune it, I will dig about it, and nourish it, and perhaps it may shoot forth young and tender branches, and perish it not. And it perish not. Same difference. So, yeah, apparently God's saying, I'm making an assumption that in this parable, I guess, God is the master of the vineyard, I assume. And yeah, he's pretty much saying that he ignored Israel for a while, and that was a bad idea. Came back and said, oh, you look rough. Time to do some gardening. And it came to pass that he pruned it, and digged about it, and nourished it according to his word. And it came to pass... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I am really sorry. I forgot. 5 of you emailed me saying, please, whatever you do, keep doing the drinking game. Yeah. And I have been blowing past some it came to passes. So, alright, first of all, we had verse 4 started with it came to pass, verse 5 started with it came to pass, and now verse 6 is starting with it came to pass. Wow, 3 in a row. Alright, everybody, let's do it. 3 drinks. I'm going to do it with you this time. All right, that's the last time I'm drinking on the air, because it probably sounds like dead air to you. Okay, so I hope everybody's caught up with the drinks. Okay, so now we're at 6. We've all had our 3 drinks. So this next time you hear it came to pass, you don't have to drink. You already paid it forward for that one. And it came to pass that after many days it began to put forth somewhat a little young and tender branches. But behold, the main top thereof began to perish. So we got, I guess on the bottom of the tree, it's getting some nice new branches, but the top, it looks like it's a goner. And it came to pass, drink! Another one, seriously, verse 7. This might be a rough episode. It came to pass that the master of the vineyard saw it. He said unto his servant, It grieveth me that I should lose this tree. Wherefore, go pluck the branches from a wild olive tree, and bring them hither unto me. And we will pluck off those main branches which are beginning to wither away, and we will cast them into the fire, that they might be burned. Yeah, that's God, all right. Yeah, I wasn't sure if the master was God, but now that he's talking about the only way to solve a problem is to burn it, that's God. That is the God we know and love. All right. And behold, saith the Lord of the vineyard, I take away many of these young and tender branches, and I will graft them whithersoever I will. And it mattereth not, that if it so be that the root of this tree will perish, I may preserve the fruit thereof unto myself. Wherefore I will take these young and tender branches, and I will graft them there whithersoever I will. All right, so we got a tree, and the root's dying, and he doesn't care. He just wants the fruit. He just wants the fruit. And then he's going to take the good branches, and he's going to do whatever he wants with them. He's like, I'm God. My tree. Go away. Okay. Take thou the branches of the wild olive tree, and graft them in. Graft them in the stead thereof. And these which I have plucked off, I will cast into the fire and burn them. Okay? That they may not cumber the ground of my vineyard. Well, that's interesting. So he actually pulled off the nice ones. He pulled off the young and tender branches and burned them. Good old God. He just said there was a fire, and he's like, well, I got to throw something in it. Just give me something. Ooh, look at that. Perfectly good branches. Just throw them in the fire. Oh, God, you pyromaniac, you. And it came to pass that the servant of the Lord of the vineyard did according to the word of the Lord of the vineyard, and grafted in the branches of the wild olive tree. I mean, grafted in. So is it like digging them in? Like made a little hole in the trunk and just digging a branch in it? I don't really know. Anyway. And the Lord of the vineyard caused that it should be digged about and pruned and nourished, saying unto his servant, It grieveth me that I should lose this tree, wherefore that perhaps I might preserve the roots thereof, that they perish not, and I might preserve them unto myself. I have done this thing. All right. So now he's going to try and save the rotting root. Wherefore go thy way. Watch the tree and nourish it according to my words. And these I will place in the nethermost part of my vineyard. What is these? I thought, because whatever he had before he burned. So I don't know. He's putting something in the nethermost part of the vineyard. Whithersoever I will, it mattereth not unto me, and I do it, that I may preserve unto myself the natural branches of the tree, and also that I may lay up the fruit thereof against the season unto myself, for it grieveth me that I should lose this tree and the fruit thereof. God really liked this tree. He's like, it's like, well, God, can you look around? You made a whole planet. There's trees everywhere, and God's like, yeah, but this tree, that's just kind of my favorite. And it's grieving me. I'm going to lose a tree. And it came to pass, drink, that the Lord of the vineyard went his way, and hid the natural branches of the tame olive tree in the nethermost parts of the vineyard, some in one and some in another, according to his will and pleasure. He's like, just put them wherever I feel like it. Just wherever I'm in the mood, that's where they're going. And it came to pass, drink again. Man, we might have to put a pause on this drinking game, or we are all just going to be passed out halfway through this. Remember, beer. Don't do this with vodka. And you know who I'm talking about. Person that emailed me. Drunk. Drinking vodka during the reading. That's just irresponsible. Okay. Oh, God. It came to pass, the Lord of the vineyard, and also the servant, went down into the vineyard to labor. And it came to pass that the servant said unto his master, Behold, look here, behold the tree. So his servant's pretty excited. He's like, check this tree out. And it came to pass that the Lord of the vineyard looked and beheld the tree in which the wild olive branches had been grafted, and it had sprung forth and began to bear fruit. All right. And he beheld that it was good, and the fruit thereof was like unto the natural fruit. It wasn't natural fruit. I guess if you graft a branch, it becomes artificial fruit or something. But it's saying it was just as good as natural fruit. Okay. And he said unto the servant, Behold, the branches of the wild tree have taken hold of the moisture of the root thereof. Boy, I'm glad we had this book to teach us how trees work. Yeah. So, good thing that they told us, because otherwise who would have known that roots were down there to gather moisture? We just wouldn't have known. And the root thereof hath brought forth much strength, and because of much strength of the root thereof, the wild branches have brought forth tame fruit. Now if we have not grafted in these branches, the tree thereof, boy, I'm butchering that, the tree thereof would have perished. And now behold, I say, I shall lay up much fruit, which the tree thereof hath brought forth, and the fruit thereof I shall lay up against the season unto mine own self. So he's keeping the fruit for himself. Selfish. Not even going to share his fruit. And it came to pass, drink. I'm sorry, guys. You're the one saying you wanted to play this game. Oof. All right. Another drink. And the Lord of the vineyard said unto the servant, Come, let us go to the nethermost part of the vineyard, and behold, if the natural branches of the tree have not brought forth much fruit also, then I may lay up of the fruit thereof against the season unto mine own self. So he's like, let's go find those other ones I planted. I want some more fruit for myself that I'm not going to share. And it came to pass, drink, that they went forth whither the master had hid the natural branches of the tree. And he said unto the servant, Behold these! And he beheld the first, and it had brought forth much fruit. And he beheld also that it was good. And he said unto the servant, Take of the fruit thereof, and lay it up against the season, that I may preserve it unto mine own self. And there he goes. He's like, okay, servant, you listening? Pick all that fruit. Servant's like, all right, got it. Got some fruit. This looks good. And God's like, now give it to me, because that's mine. Awesome. For behold, saith he, this long time have I nourished it, and it hath brought forth much fruit. So there you go. He's like, I don't know what you did, servant. I'm the one nourishing it. You just picked it. You didn't get anything. And it came to pass, drink, that the servant said unto his master, How comest thou hither to plant this tree? Wouldn't it be awesome if people still talk like this? How comest thou hither to plant this tree? Instead of just saying, why'd you do that? Exactly. Or this branch of the tree. Behold, it was the poorest spot in all the land of thy vineyard. So he's like, God, seriously, why'd you pick this crap spot to plant this tree? This is garbage. And the Lord of the vineyard said unto him, Counsel me not. And it is true. How dare you speak that way to God? Counsel me not. I knew that it was a poor spot of ground, wherefore I said unto thee, I have nourished it this long time, and thou beholdest that it hath brought forth much fruit. Man, this is like a tongue twister. All right, so he's like, yeah, don't you think I didn't know that it was a crap spot? I just put it there to see if I could pull it off. I nourished the crap out of it, and look at that. Even though I planted it in a crap spot, I still got fruit, and you don't have any, so shut your face. That's awesome. And it came to pass, drink everybody, that the Lord of the vineyard said unto his servant, Look hither, behold, I have planted another branch of the tree also, and thou knowest that this spot of ground was poorer than the first. What in the world? So God's walking around this vineyard saying, where are the worst spots I could plant these trees? And that's where he's planting them. But behold the tree, I have nourished it this long time, and it hath brought forth much fruit. They keep saying, it hath brought forth much fruit, and that is hard to say. It's a tongue twister. Anyway, therefore gather it, and lay it up against the season, that I may preserve it unto, anyone? Mine own self. Once again, God's like, still don't have enough fruit. I want all that fruit. And it came to pass that the Lord of the vineyard said again unto the servant, Look hither, and behold another branch also, which I have planted. Behold that I have nourished it also, and it hath brought forth fruit. This is, okay, we're going to go to every single freaking plant or tree in this vineyard and be like, look. Brr. And also, why are you talking about fruit? I thought this all started with an olive tree. Are olives fruit? I don't really know what an olive is, but all right, maybe it's a fruit. And he said unto the servant, Look hither, and behold the last. Behold, this have I planted in a good spot of the ground. Well, there you go, finally. And I've nourished it this long time. And only a part of the tree hath brought forth tame fruit, and the other part of the tree hath brought forth wild fruit. Well, what the heck's the difference between a tame fruit and a wild fruit? All right. Behold, I have nourished this tree like unto the others. And it came to pass, drink, that the Lord of the vineyard said unto the servant, Pluck off the branches that have not brought forth good fruit, and cast them into the fire. Of course. What else would you do with them? Gotta go to the fire. Oh, right. So God is not a fan of wild fruit. So make a note to yourselves, everybody. If you want to give God a present, make sure it's tame fruit. You gotta tame it first. And this wild stuff. But behold, the servant said unto him, Let us prune it and dig about it, and nourish a little longer. And perhaps it may bring forth good fruit unto this tree, or unto thee, and thou canst lay it up against the season. And it came to pass, drink, that the Lord of the vineyard and the servant of the Lord of the vineyard did nourish all the fruit of the vineyard. All right, so that's, So God said, pluck off the branches that made that wild fruit and burn them. And the servant's like, well, how about we prune it and dig about and nourish it, and maybe it'll bring good fruit, maybe we should just not resort to burning immediately. And apparently that worked. I didn't know that you could change God's mind, but apparently the servant's like, yeah, that's this, I might have a better plan. All right, and it came to pass, drink again, that a long time had passed away. And the Lord of the vineyard said unto his servant, come, let us go down into the vineyard, that we may labor again in the vineyard. Oh God, for behold, the time draweth near, and the end soon cometh. Wherefore I must lay up fruit against the season, unto mine own self. Yeah, I need more fruit. And it came to pass, drink, good Lord. Is that like the 12th it came to pass? Anyway. All right, if you need to pause it to go get another beer, I understand, because this is... All right, the Lord of the vineyard and the servant went down into the vineyard, and they came to the tree whose natural branches had been broken off, and the wild branches had been grafted in, and behold, all sorts of fruit did cumber the tree. And it came to pass, drink, that the Lord of the vineyard did taste the fruit, every sort according to its number. So you're trying to say that one tree had several different kinds of fruit? That seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Or is that what the whole grafting was? They took an apple tree branch and somehow soldered it into a, olive tree, and now you got olives and apples in the same tree. That I don't think that's really a thing that happens in real life. Anyway, and it came to pass. Oh wait, sorry. Well, put your drinks down. Sorry, I was rereading the verse I'd already read. Okay, here we go. And the Lord of the vineyard said, behold, this long time we have nourished this tree, and I have laid up unto myself against the season much fruit. But behold, this time it hath brought forth much fruit, and there is none of it which is good. It's all crap. And behold, there are all kinds of bad fruit, and it profiteth me nothing. That's awesome. God's like, he's a capitalist. God's like, if there's no profit for me, I don't want it. Burn it. What do you want to bet? They're going to burn this tree. Anyway, notwithstanding all our labor, it now grieveth me that I should lose this tree. And the Lord of the vineyard said unto the servant, what shall we do unto the tree, that I may preserve again good fruit thereof unto mine own self? All right, so now God's like, I don't even know what to do. So servant, you tell me. You had that plan before. I was wrong about burning, so what do you want to do? And the servant said unto the master, behold, because thou didst graft in the branches of the wild olive tree, they have nourished the roots, and they are alive, and they have not perished. Wherefore thou beholdest that they are yet good. So the roots are good. God's like, well, that's not helping me. Can't eat root. And it came to pass, drink, that the Lord of the vineyard said unto his servant, the tree profiteth me nothing, and the roots therefore profit me nothing. I was right. God's like, what am I doing with the root? All right. So long as it shall bring forth evil fruit. Oh man, now it's not what it was, wild fruit, and then it was bad fruit. Now it's evil fruit. God's just getting more and more pissed at this tree. Nevertheless, I know that the roots are good, and for mine own purpose I have preserved them. And because of their much strength, they have hitherto brought forth from the wild branches good fruit. Wait, so now it has good fruit? I don't know. But behold, the wild branches have grown, and have overrun the roots thereof. And because of that, the wild branches have overcome the roots thereof. What in the world? It just repeated itself again. That's weird. And it hath brought forth much evil fruit. And because that it hath brought forth so much evil fruit, thou beholdest that it beginneth to perish, and it will soon become ripened, that it may be cast in the fire. Ah, there he is. Except we should do something for it to preserve it. Wait, which is it? You want to preserve it or burn it? I don't know. We'll see. And it came to pass, drink, that the Lord of the vineyard said unto his servant, let us go down into the nethermost parts of the vineyard, and behold, if the natural branches have also brought forth evil fruit. And it came to pass, drink again, that they went down into the nethermost parts of the vineyard, and it came to pass, drink, and they beheld that the fruit of the natural branches had become corrupt also. Uh-oh. Yea. Oh, there's a yea. That's another drink. My God, this is 3 drinks in one verse. That's a hardcore verse. And the first and the second, and also the last, and they had all become corrupt. Man, the whole friggin' vineyard is evil fruit. What is an evil fruit? Is that like, what's that show? Annoying Orange? Is that what it's called? Or is it like this orange with a face, and he's annoying and just talks? That's an evil fruit. I wonder if that's what's going on. All these fruit, they're like, meh, get away. Sorry. I don't know how I get these mental images in my head of a tree full of talking fruit that's just like swearing at God, like, go to hell, meh. Evil fruit. I don't know how else you would describe an evil fruit. I mean, what makes a fruit evil? And the wild fruit of the last had overcome that part of the tree which brought forth good fruit, and even that the branches had withered away and died. That evil fruit was taking care of all the good fruit. And it came to pass, drink, that the Lord of the vineyard wept, and said unto the servant, what could I have done more for my vineyard? Oh, he's just sobbing. My poor vineyard. So stupid. All right. Behold, I knew that all the fruit of the vineyard, save it were these, had become corrupted. And now these which I once brought forth good fruit have also become corrupted. And now all the trees of my vineyard are good for nothing, save it be to hewn down and cast into the fire. God's sake, it's good for one thing, fuel to the fire, which I love. And behold, this last, whose branch hath withered away, I did plant in a good spot of ground. Yea, drink, even that which was choice unto me above all other parts of the land of my vineyard. Yeah, so he's like, even the one I planted in the good spot, even it's a goner. This whole vineyard is just crap now. It's an evil vineyard. And thou beheldest that I also cut down that which cumbered this spot of ground, that I might plant this tree in the stead thereof. And thou beheldest that a part thereof brought forth good fruit. Oh, something's got good fruit? What has good fruit? Hold on. It was something about he cut down, I don't know, he planted something else, and now we have good fruit again. And a part thereof brought forth wild fruit, and because I plucked not the branches thereof and cast them in the fire, behold, they have overcome the good branches that it hath withered away. Aha! So I know what's going on here. God's given a little told you so to his servant. So remember, God said, let's just cut off these wild branches and burn them. And the servant's like, maybe we can bring this back to life. Let's give it a shot. And now God's like, see? You see what happened? Those evil branches that you wouldn't let me throw in the fire? What happened? They killed all the good branches. So what do you think of that, servant? Yeah, shouldn't question God, I would think. And now, behold, notwithstanding all the care which we have taken of my vineyard, the trees thereof have become corrupted, and they bring forth no good fruit. And these I had hoped to preserve. I had laid up fruit thereof against the season, unto mine own self. But behold, they have become like unto the wild olive tree, and they are of no worth but to be hewn down and cast into the fire. And it grieveth me that I should lose them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think God's grieving about burning things. He seems to delight in the burning of everything. All right, but what could I have done more in my vineyard? Have I slackened mine hand, that I have not nourished it? Nay, I have nourished it, and I have digged about it, and I have pruned it, and I have dunged it. Dunged it. Dropped turds on it. And I have stretched forth mine hand almost all the day long, and the end draweth nigh. And grieveth me that I should hew down all the trees of my vineyard, and cast them into the fire, that they should be burned. Who is it that has corrupted my vineyard? That is the question. Who corrupted the vineyard? So, just to be clear, God's making the claim. It has his vineyard. It's got all these nice trees, and there's all this nice fruit. But then, some of the fruit got wild. I don't really know what that meant. It got a little crazy. And because he didn't immediately kill them, right? Whoever got what? Anybody stepping out of line, if you're burned immediately. Because if you don't, then those wild ones is just like a virus. It's just going to plague the whole place. So that, I think, is the lesson that we need to learn from this. That if you see any wild behavior, burn alive. Just burn them. That's what you got to do. Okay. But let's see if we can find out who corrupted the vineyard. I think it's probably these wild branches. All right, let's see. And it came to pass that the servant said unto the master, it is not the loftiness of the vineyard. Have not branches thereof overcome the roots which are good? And because the branches have overcome the roots thereof, behold, they grew faster than the strength of the roots, taking strength unto themselves. Behold, I say, it is not this the cause that the trees of the vineyard have become corrupted. The loftiness of the vineyard is what caused it? What on earth is that? What, like the trees got too big and proud? That's weird. This is a weird analogy, this whole tree thing. Anyway. And it came to pass, drink. Oh, I missed a drink in the last one. Sorry. Yeah, 2 drinks. Yeah. All right. And the Lord of the vineyard said unto the servant, let us go to and hew down the trees of the vineyard and cast them, where, everybody? Into the fire. And they shall not cumber the ground of my vineyard, for I have done all. What could I have done more for my vineyard? I don't know. I don't know what you could have done. You could have been God and done anything you wanted. There's a thought. I mean, you're God. If you wanted a tree to just wave your magic hand and fix it. I mean, whatever. But behold, the servant said unto the Lord of the vineyard, spare it a little longer. Uh-oh. The servant's talking back again. And then the Lord saith, yea, drink. I will spare it a little longer. For it grieveth me that I should lose the trees of my vineyard. Wherefore, let us take of the branches of these which I have planted in the nethermost parts of my vineyard, and let us graft them into the tree from whence they came, and let us pluck from the tree those branches whose fruit is most bitter, and graft them into the natural branches of the tree in the stead thereof. What in the world? First of all, I don't think you can graft branches into a tree. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some botanist out there who's like, oh no, you can totally do that. Is that it? Botanist? Is that flowers? I don't know what a tree person is. Anyway, I don't know. All right. So apparently they're swapping branches around like it's Legos or something. They're just popping off some Lego branches from one tree and putting them on another and hoping for the best. All right. And this will I do that the tree may not perish, that perhaps I may preserve unto myself the roots thereof for mine own purpose. Oh, so now he wants roots? Before he was like, I don't want any roots. Roots have no profit. Now he's like, man, I want the roots. That's all I got left. I'll take them. And behold, the roots of the natural branches of the tree which I planted whithersoever I would are yet alive. Wherefore, that I may preserve them also for mine own purpose. Yeah, he wants those roots now. I will take of the branches of this tree, and I will graft them in unto them. Yea, drink. I will graft them unto them the branches of their mother tree, and I may preserve the roots also unto mine own self, that when they shall be sufficiently strong, perhaps they may bring forth good fruit unto me, and I may yet have glory in the fruit of my vineyard. I'm not sure what the plan is, but he's got some kind of plan, something about roots and grafting and Lego swapping branches. He's got a plan, and he's like, I think this is going to work. And the servant's probably looking at him like, really? This sounds kind of crazy, but all right, we'll give it a shot. And it came to pass, drink, that they took from the natural tree which had become wild, and grafted in unto the natural trees which had also become wild. What? So they're just, well, what's the point of, if everything's wild, then why are they swapping them? Well, whatever. And they also took of the natural trees which had become wild, and grafted into their mother tree. All right, now the mother's going to get some wild branches grafted in. Okay. I mean, maybe everyone's laughing at me like, seriously, you don't know about tree grafting? It just sounds crazy. I've never heard of taking a branch off of one tree and somehow, inserting it into another tree. Maybe it means something else, but that's, anyway, whatever. And the Lord of the vineyard said unto the servant, pluck not the wild branches from the trees. What? You just said to do, what? Save it be those which are most bitter, and in them ye shall graft according to that which I've said. So only get the most bitter branches. And this poor servant's got to go around like biting into branches and be like, it's disgusting, but it's not. That one over there was worse. You got to find the worst one. And we will nourish again the trees of the vineyard, and we will trim up the branches thereof, and we will pluck from the trees those branches which are ripened, that must perish, and cast them into the fire. Oh, what's wrong with something that's ripe? I don't know. He wants them raw. All right, more burning. That's great. And this I do that perhaps the roots thereof may take strength because of their goodness, and because of the change of the branches, that the good may overcome the evil. All right. Somehow his plan is, I don't know, it sounded like he was taking wild branches and just spreading them everywhere. But somehow he thinks he's got some good in there. Maybe it's the roots. Whatever. And because I have preserved the natural branches of the roots thereof, and that I have grafted in the natural branches again unto their mother tree, and have preserved the roots of their mother tree, that perhaps the trees of my vineyard may bring forth again good fruit, that I may have joy again in the fruit of my vineyard, and perhaps I may rejoice exceedingly that I have preserved the roots of the branches of the first fruit. I missed where he got good branches from. I don't know where that happened, because it sounded like the whole vineyard was just corrupt, bad, evil fruit. But somehow he had some good ones. I don't know where they came from. Who cares? All right. Wherefore, go to and call servants, that we may labor diligently with our might in the vineyard, and we may prepare the way, that I may bring forth again the natural fruit, which natural fruit is good, and the most precious above all other fruit. They go again. Everything is most precious. All right, so now we have to just bring in a whole servant army. We're just going to take care of that. It was full court press on this vineyard. We're going to get some good fruit back, people. Let's put your backs into it. Wherefore let us go to and labor with our might this last time. For behold, the end draweth nigh, and this is for the last time that I shall prune my vineyard. So God's like, this is it. If this doesn't work, burn it all. Just burn it to the ground. I'm pretty sure is his plan here. Graft in the branches, begin at the last, that they may be the first, and that the first may be the last. What? And dig about the trees, both young and old, the first and the last and the first, that all may be nourished once again for the last time. Yeah, that one was dumb. I think he's just saying every possible thing that we can do, we're gonna try. Wherefore dig about them and prune them and dung them once more for the last time, for the end draweth nigh. And if it be so that these last grafts shall grow and bring forth the natural fruit, then shall ye prepare the way for them, that they may grow. And as they begin to grow, ye shall clear away the branches which bring forth bitter fruit, according to the strength and the good and the size thereof. And ye shall not clear away the bad thereof all at once, lest the roots thereof should be too strong for the graft, and the graft thereof shall perish, and I lose the trees of my vineyard. I don't understand that. So he's saying, if you got some wild branches that sneak in, cut them off, but not too fast. You gotta do it slow, otherwise the root might get pissed off somehow. For it grieveth me that I should lose the trees of my vineyard. Yeah, we know. Good God, stop saying that. We get it. You don't want to lose the vineyard, but you're willing to burn it, if the fruit is evil. All right, wherefore ye shall clear away the bad according as the good shall grow, and the root and the top may be equal in strength, until the good shall overcome the bad, and the bad be hewn down and cast into the fire, that they cumber not the ground of my vineyard, and thus I will sweep away the bad out of my vineyard. And the branches of the natural tree I will graft in again into the natural tree. And the branches of the natural tree... the branches of the natural tree I'll graft into a natural tree. What good does that do? They're both natural trees. I don't... And the branches of the natural tree will I graft into the natural branches of the tree. I'm not... That was the next verse. It said the exact same thing. Exactly. I don't... Yeah, I hate it when it does that. And thus will I bring them together again, and they shall bring forth the natural fruit, and they shall be one. And the bad shall be cast away. Yea, drink, even out of the land, out of my vineyard. For behold, only this once will I prune my vineyard. He's like, that's it. Anything bad, I'm just kicking it out. Well, he's not burning it. He's just kicking it out. That's nicer. And it came to pass, drink, that the Lord of the vineyard sent his servant, and the servant went and did as the Lord had commanded him. And he brought other servants, and they were few. They were few. So God's like, get as many servants as you can. He's like, yeah, I got Bill and Fred here. That's all I could find. Sorry, God. Yeah, just a couple. There's a couple of us. And the Lord of the vineyard said unto him, Go to and labor in the vineyard with your might. For behold, this is the last time I shall nourish my vineyard. For the end is nigh at hand. And the season speedily cometh. And if ye labor with your might, with me ye shall have joy in the fruit which I shall lay up unto myself against the time which soon come. So God is up in the stakes here. He's saying he will actually let them have joy in the fruit too. So it sounds like he might actually share his little fruit hoard that he's got. The servants are probably like, really, we get fruit? No, it's great. And it came to pass, drink, that the servants did go and labor with their mights, and the Lord of the vineyard labored also with them. So he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. There you go. And they did obey the commandments of the Lord of the vineyard in all things. And there began to be natural fruit again in the vineyard. And the natural branches began to grow and thrive exceedingly, and the wild branches began to be plucked off, and to be cast away, and they did keep the root of the top thereof equal, according to the strength thereof. All right, so God's plan's working, sounds like. I'm getting some natural fruit with all this swapping and chopping and burning, and it seems like it's working. And here's the funny thing. God didn't, he was done. He gave up. He was like, burn it all, just light it on fire. And the servant was the one that said, come on now. Come on, God. I think we can make this happen. I think we can make this work. We don't have to burn all this. Come on. And God's like, all right, fine. We'll keep it. That's great. God, he was willing to burn it all. All right. And thus they labored with all diligence according to the commandments of the Lord of the vineyard, even until the bad had been cast away out of the vineyard, and the Lord had preserved unto himself the trees that had become again the natural fruit. And they became like unto one body, and the fruits were equal. And the Lord of the vineyard had preserved unto himself the natural fruit, which was the most precious unto him from the beginning. Okay? God loves fruit. Most precious. And it came to pass, drink, that when the Lord of the vineyard saw that his fruit was good, and that his vineyard was no more corrupt, he called up his servants, and said unto them, Behold, for this last time we have nourished my vineyard, and thou beholdest that I have done according to my will. And I have... No, it wasn't, God. It was the servant's idea. Don't take credit. Come on. That's a dick move. At least say, thanks, servant, for your, suggestion, because I wanted to burn it. Anyway, he's taking credit. He's according to me, I preserve the natural fruit, that it is good, even like as it was in the beginning. And blessed art thou, for because ye have been diligent in laboring with me in the vineyard, and have kept my commandments, and have brought unto me again the natural fruit, that my vineyard is no more corrupted, and the bad is cast away. Behold, ye shall have joy with me, because of the fruit of my vineyard. For behold, for a long time will I lay up the fruit of my vineyard unto mine own self against the season which speedily cometh. And for the last time I have nourished my vineyard, and pruned it, and dug about it, and dunged it. Wherefore I will lay up unto mine own self of the fruit for a long time, according to that which I have spoken. Well, why does he keep saying it's the last time he's going to do it? It seemed like every time he turned his back, things just got corrupted, and evil fruit just crept in, and the wild branches came and started parties and corrupted everybody. But he's like, look, I'm done with this freaking vineyard. Like, I'm pretty sure you have to do that every year, God. Like, you can't just ignore your vineyard and say it's good now, right? Weeds will grow. Oh, yeah, it's just, that's not it. You have to come back every year and do that. So, Yeah, but he's saying he's done with it. So I guess he's just like, I got enough fruit to last me forever. Whatever's going to happen in that vineyard's going to happen. I don't really care. I'm done. All right, and when the time cometh that evil fruit shall again come into my vineyard. Oh, so he's actually accepting that that's going to happen. Okay, so, all right. Then I will cause the good and the bad to be gathered, and the good will I preserve unto myself, and the bad will I cast away into its own place. And then cometh the season and the end, and my vineyard will I cause to be burned with fire. That's awesome. So God's like, look, eventually, I'm not nourishing it anymore. I'm done. I'm out. Just finished. I'm tired of that vineyard. We got some good fruit going. Let's leave it be. Now, I understand that evil fruit's going to come back. I get it. There's no stopping those wild branches with their evil fruit. And so he's like, once that happens, like once, eventually, when I reach kind of the end of this vineyard business, I mean, there's going to be whatever's good. I'll just separate that. So, okay, I'm keeping the good. And the bad, I'm lighting this whole thing on fire. I'm done. See you later, vineyard. Burn it with fire. That was fantastic. Well, that's strange. I'm done. Wow. I don't know. The first time I saw chapter 5, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be like 3 episodes to get through that. It actually wasn't that long. So I think we're doing chapter 6. I really thought this episode was going to be like Jacob 5, part 1. But apparently, we're going to have more than just chapter 5. Well, that's exciting. Let me make sure 6 isn't 20 pages. No, 6 is pretty short. Okay, cool. All right, so just to recap that story. So I gather what they're talking about was that Israel was the vineyard, right? I think that's what makes sense there. And then, so the branches that he took and like planted far away, like in those weird spots, I think those are like the supposed to be the Nephites and the Lamanites, right? I think is what that was, because it's like he planted them far. But it's like he planted them in like bad spots. But they always talked about how like America or the Promised Land was like the choicest of all lands. So I don't know, because there was the one spot that he planted far away that was good soil. So maybe that was where he dropped Lehi and his family. But see, they got corrupt too. Of course they did. So I don't know what the two were that he planted in like bad spots, but they still grew good. I don't know. Either way, sounds like wild is bad. What was the other one? Tame is good. So you have to be tame. Be tamed. or you'll be burned. Those are your options. Once again, the entrance into heaven requires an extremely boring person. You have to be really boring. You can't be proud of any of your accomplishments. You got to make sure you don't get too much wisdom. You can't, God's sakes, don't educate yourself. Just be just the most average, boring laborer type of person that just comes home and stays quiet, and then you get into heaven, sounds like. I mean, so far that's been the theme of this book. Be boring. Okay. Chapter 6. Let's do this. And now behold, my brethren. And this, by the way, I'm assuming that some of you didn't play the drinking game and are therefore still conscious. For those of you that actually kept up, and if you're still conscious, well done. Well done. You are a pro. Because that was quite a few came to passes and yeas in that one. All right. Starting over, chapter 6. And now behold, my brethren, as I said unto you that I would prophesy, behold, this is my prophecy, that the things which this prophet Zenos spake. Oh, that's right. That whole tree thing was all Zenos' fault. Way to go. Or the whole vineyard. Zenos' vineyard. The things which the prophet Zenos spake concerning the house of Israel, in the which he likened them unto a tame olive tree, must surely come to pass. Well, there you go. I guess I think I was right. Israel was the vineyard, right? Well, no. Israel wasn't the vineyard. It was just the tame olive tree. I don't know. Whatever. I gave it my best shot to try and decipher that. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get several emails from listeners trying to explain. Anyway. And the day that he shall set his hand again in the second time to recover his people is the day, yea, drink, even the last time, that the servants of the Lord shall go forth in his power to nourish and prune his vineyard. And after that day, the end soon cometh. I don't know what that means. So, he shall set his hand again a second time to recover his people. I don't get it. I just don't. So, I mean, I understand, like, I assume that they're referring to, like, the second coming of Christ, like the whole rapture and all that business. That's what that sounds like, right? So that sounds fine. But then it's talking about that those people have to go and nourish and prune the vineyard. Well, are they there or not? Like, if they got raptured, they're gone. They're just out of there. But now they have work to do. I don't know. Whatever. All right. And how blessed are they who have labored diligently in his vineyard. And how cursed are they who shall be cast out in their own place. Well, I'm just cursed. They're burned, right? And the world shall be burned with fire. The whole world now. God is done. So it wasn't just a vineyard. No. The world. He is setting the world on fire. God's ultimate bonfire. He must be excited about this. I'll bet God's up there just looking at his watch going, is it time? No. Is it time? Oh, I can't wait to set that planet on fire. Okay. What a guy. And how merciful. Oh God, that's too funny. Let me just read these verses together. And the world shall be burned with fire. And how merciful is our God? That's awesome. Yeah, so merciful that he's going to burn our planet. Just incinerate it. So merciful. I mean, it's just, such mercy from that guy. All right, how merciful is our God unto us, for he remembereth the house of Israel, both roots and branches, and he stretches forth his hands unto them all the day long, that they are a stiff-necked and gainsaying people. Gainsaying. That's all one word. But as many will not harden their hearts. And as many will not harden their hearts, shall be saved in the kingdom. Okay, so if you don't harden your heart, you'll be saved in the kingdom of God. You're stiff-necked, then you're gainsaying, whatever. I don't know. All right. But see, God is so much mercy, because he's going to pick up a few people, those boring people that are left on earth. He's going to take them and then set everybody else on fire. Oh, there's a mercy. So much mercy. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, I beseech of you in the words of soberness, that ye would repent, and come with full purpose of heart, and cleave unto God as he cleaved unto you. And while his arm of mercy is extended towards you in the light of the day, harden not your hearts. Yea, drink today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. For why will ye die? What? Why will you die? Because everyone dies? For behold, after ye have been nourished by the good word of God all the day long, will ye bring forth evil fruit, that ye must be hewn down and cast into the fire? So this whole thing, it's just like this one giant scare tactic, isn't it? It's like, do what God, and I love how they say this. It's like, so you have this being that is prepared to light the planet on fire, just burn everything, incinerate Earth, right? But they're saying, but he doesn't want to kill you. He doesn't. His hand is extended out, and it's like, no, well, if he doesn't want to burn us all, then don't burn us all. That's the easier option, God. You're God. You can literally do anything you want. Anything. You just knock yourself out. You're God. Make a new Earth next to us. We can have a sister planet. Why not? Pop. There it is tomorrow. You can do anything. And you're saying, well, I have no choice. I must burn the Earth. No, that's not true. You don't have to burn the Earth. But no. So that's the whole idea, right? God's trying to give you mercy. His hand is extended. All you have to do is reach up and take it and be a really boring person. That's all you have to do. Let's come on, guys. He's, don't you understand? You're going to be burned alive. Oh my God, grab it. Grab his hand. Hurry before you get burned. It's like this. It's such a scare tactic, right? There's nowhere does it really talk about the benefits, right? Why is it a good thing for me to reach out and grab God's hand? The only reason I'm getting is so you won't be burned alive. Well, okay. That's fine, but it's just the scare, right? You don't get the benefit. It's all stick and no carrot in this story. So there you go. If you're, I don't know, it's a good technique, right? Scare the crap out of little kids, do what I say, or burn. My God. Anyway. All right, next verse. Oh wait, I actually read all that, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay, here we go. Behold, will ye reject the words? Will ye reject the words of the prophets? And will ye reject all the words which have been spoken concerning Christ, after so many have spoken concerning him, and deny the good words of Christ, and the power of God, and the gift of the Holy Ghost, and quench the Holy Spirit, and make a mock of the great plan of redemption, which hath been laid for you? So the answer to all of those questions, I think there was about 8 of them, is yes. I will reject the words, and the words of the prophets, and yeah, all of that. And I will mock the great plan of redemption. Yes, that is also true, because it's a ridiculous plan. It's just a stupid plan. I don't know what to say. It's dumb. I'm sorry. I mean, again, what's the plan? God created man intentionally defective. Intentionally. It said that, right? Because before, when they were in the garden, they just would have lived there forever and not had any children, right? If they hadn't sinned. So God made sure they did. That's what it said in this book. So God made us in a way that by default we would be damned and burn in eternity, right? Fantastic. First of all, why'd you create hell, God? I mean, why even make that? That's just mean. But anyway, that's what he did. So he made this earth, made a heaven, made a hell, and said all of you by default are going to hell. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send my son, who's also me, depending on whether you're a Trinitarian or Godhead person, I don't know. But someone's going to come down, and he's going to have a bad afternoon on a cross, and then that changes everything. Wonderful, right? Okay. And then after that, if you believe that person, it's just such a dumb plan. What does that even, none of that makes sense. It doesn't. I don't. Anyway, so yes, I'm going to mock the crap out of that plan because it's a dumb plan. All right. I think I've made my point and I should just move on. Know ye not that if ye will do these things, that the power of the redemption and the resurrection, which is in Christ, will bring you to stand with shame and awful guilt before the bar of God? Yeah, sure. There you go. It's a risk I'm taking. Maybe I will stand with shame and awful guilt before the bar of God. I don't think that's going to happen, though. But hey, they're telling me it is. And according to the power of justice, for justice cannot be denied, ye must go away into that lake of fire and brimstone, whose flames are unquenchable, and whose smoke ascendeth up forever and ever, which lake of fire and brimstone is endless torment. It's a lovely God. Don't forget, how did it get there? You're God. You made it. That's the only. How else did it get there? Unless you're saying that, like, Satan has powers of creation as well. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's saying. But, yeah, it's really nice that you made a place like that, God. That's very thoughtful. So you actually thought, well, before I go, I'm going to make a universe. Going to have a special planet called Earth. Going to put people on it. Yeah, it'll be nice. This will work out. What else could I do? Well, I am obsessed with fire. So let's see. Oh, I have an idea. They're going to live this tiny little blink of an existence on Earth. Just in the grand scheme of things, just a nanosecond compared to the entirety of time. And then when they die, yeah, I'll burn them forever. Like forever. This is great. And it's like, well, I guess it's a little mean. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to create this like really bizarre out. I'm going to give them a way to avoid this lake of fire. But yeah, it's not going to be easy. They're going to have to figure it out. Right? It's not going to be easy. I'm going to make sure that there are just thousands of different like ideas of how to avoid it. Only one of them's right. Joke's on them. One of them's right. They don't know which. And yeah. And if you get the wrong one, you're burned forever. And God gets to sit up there just giggling. It's horrible. This is horrible. Horrible worldview. All right. Oh, then, my beloved brethren, repent ye, and enter in at the strait gate, and continue in the way which is narrow, until ye shall obtain eternal life. I think you have eternal life either way, right? Because it's either eternal torment or eternal whatever heaven is. Didn't they tell us what heaven was? It was like a bunch of people in robes or something. It sounded boring. All right. Oh, be wise. What can I say more? There you go. What else can I say? Be wise. Wait a minute. Oh, be wise? Hold on now, Jacob. You're not supposed to be wise. Wisdom was condemned several times. So now Jacob's saying, be wise. That's, I don't know. I don't know what to think here. All right. Finally, I bid you farewell, until I shall meet you before the pleasing bar of God, which bar striketh the wicked with awful dread and fear. Amen. Well, it's a pleasing bar. It's very pleasing. Look at this pleasing bar. Very nice. And it will striketh the wicked with awful dread and fear. Well, it's not very pleasing then, is it? Well, I suppose it is wicked. If you're wicked, you'd be afraid. Anyway, so, all right, that was Jacob. But he did make it seem like that was it for him. Like, did he just, like, what did he do? Just pass out dead? Did he just collapse in a heart attack dead? Because he's like, I'm the next time I see any of you, will be heaven. Peace out. Although knowing this book, the next page is probably going to be like, and then Jacob said, it'll be like, what? He just said, Anyway, I don't know. Well, that's enough. Yeah, we're at time. I'm not going to dive into 7. That's not going to happen. So 5 and 6, that was good. I'll tell you, I was really afraid of that 5. We burned right through that, I thought. Oh, I mean, it was kind of a fun story about some stupid vineyard. But, yeah, I think it was kind of fun. So that will be it for episode 17. Look at that. We're burning through. Actually, let me see here. This little device has the ability to tell me the percentage that we have completed in this book. And it says 22%. Almost a quarter done. All right. That's exciting. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, when I see the number higher, I'm like, well, I don't know, I'm having so much fun doing this. Maybe I'd be happier if it only said 2% and be like, ooh, good, years I get to do this. But no, we're already a quarter done. Seems like we just started. But there's plenty more to go. sorry, everybody. Thank you. I promised I wouldn't say iTunes again, so I'm not going to. But I'll at least make people aware. Come to the website, which is, of course, mybookofmormonpodcast.com. You can send me emails, comments at mybookofmormonpodcast.com, or you can go to the Facebook page, which is Facebook.com/mybookofmormonpodcast, or you can follow me on Twitter, which is, of course, at mybookofmormon. That's the one without the podcast at the end, just at mybookofmormon. And yeah, sadly, when I release an episode, so what I do, I post to Facebook, I send out a tweet, and then I put a post on the ex-Mormon subreddit because someone there had asked me to. They said they couldn't subscribe because of the anonymity thing. And so I said, okay, cool, I'll just let you guys know. So those are the 3 things I do every time I post an episode. And I always, when I tweet, I always ask people to retweet it, right, just so everybody can hear about it. And yeah, I don't get that many. There's a few of you. Actually, I'm probably going to dedicate the next show to this one person that does seem to do a really good job of that. But anyway, if you are on Twitter and you really want to retweet, but maybe you're one of those people that just like gets behind on their thread and you just can't read all of them. So if you email me and say and ask me to, I will direct message whoever on Twitter, right? So I'll send out 5 or 6 direct messages to say, show just released, retweet my last one, just to give you a heads up that it's buried in your thread somewhere. I'm happy to do that because I love getting the word out for everybody to know. And then very last thing, don't forget everybody, we got to donate to the Taylor Scholarship. In the last episode, we got to talk to John Larson. It was really exciting. And he has agreed that he's going to start sending me like a weekly report on how the fund is doing. So I don't have anything other than what he said last time. So once we get some good firm numbers, we'll probably be able to like set a goal and do the whole, thermometer thing where you keep going higher and higher until you hit your goal, so hey, we'll see if we get there. Otherwise, thank you to all the MIMOs out there that are listening to this and enjoying the show. I love doing it, and I love hearing from all of you. It's what keeps me going. So keep being awesome, and until next time, goodbye. This song is licensed for use within this podcast. All song and copyright information can be found at www.mybookofmormonpodcast.com.